On this channel, I always talk about how great my travels are. I also want to give a little dose of reality that things aren't always so great. So to story time, I want to tell you about a trip I took to Atlanta, Georgia, back in 2022. This is back when I was a high school teacher and went for a DECA trip. Basically, a high school competition for business students who proved their skills in many competitions, and this is the big one, the national level. So upon arriving in Atlanta, Georgia, first thing we did after we got our rental vehicle is go to our hotel, which was not that far from the convention center. As we passed by the convention center, still in broad daylight, there's already druggies blocks away from the convention center, around where all these high school students are about to be. We went out to eat after we dropped off our stuff at the hotel, and our car got broken into. Not only did it get broken into, when we called to file a police report, the police told us to stay put till an officer gets there. Hours passed. Several cops passed by. We called back and said, hey, we think the police passed us by. And the operator told us that no, they didn't. They're going to life-threatening emergencies. You are low priority. Stay put. You can't leave because you're at a scene of a crime. We'll get to you when we get to you. We stayed there from dinner to midnight, to the point where we said, hey, we're leaving. It's no longer safe. And they told us, at the scene of a crime, we're not supposed to leave. And we're like, well, we're in fear for our life at this point. We're in downtown Atlanta. All the officers are busy with life-threatening emergencies, which I completely understand. Again, but you want to stay put for many hours with a bunch of high school students? No, sorry. So we left. Me and the other teacher took care of this the following day, while the other parents chaperoned the kids to go to Six Flags. And then we returned the vehicle. They basically said, yeah, a bunch of cars got broken into last night. This is a normal thing, happens all the time, every day, which was insane. And that very night, right across the street from the convention center, a local high school was having their prom. And there was an altercation that broke out, and projectiles started flying, sending everyone into complete chaos. Students having to go to the hospital from altercation at prom across the street from the convention center. And mind you, this has been like the first 20 hours in Atlanta. It was supposed to be a fun high school competition with Six Flags, aquarium, and many different events, and it quickly just unraveled. And I forgot to tell you the part, which is probably the least crazy part of this whole thing. At one point, I went to a drive-thru to get some food for me and the other teacher who took care of this broken car. Because as I was in the drive-thru ordering my food, the dude behind me was yelling and screaming at me to order his food for him, that he was in a rush. And when I refused to order his food for him, he yelled at me, called me a bunch of names, flicked me off, and drove off. I don't understand. Hope things have gotten better in Atlanta since 2022, because at this point, I never want to return. What's your crazy travel story?